All right, now I'm recording for YouTube. So hold on a minute. Oh no, I'm just weird. Okay. So I'm gonna just talk a little bit, but I probably won't be talking much because I'm just gonna be focused on working. But it is a work along, so we're just gonna work on stuff. I will still like look over at chat, and if I feel like I will respond to something, I will respond to it. So you might hear me cut in and talking a little bit with you guys as well. So it's kind of a semi no mic communication. So it's no mic, but also mic sometimes if I want to respond. But for the most part, we're just gonna be working on stuff. I do have to do some things, so this is gonna be probably shorter than what it's normally gonna be. I'm thinking of this kind of being like an all day sort of thing. So you'll see me like working from how many hours I usually work on the comic or work on anything. Sometimes I'm not just working on the comic, I'm working on a whole bunch of other things. I just thought that this would be a fun little thing to do a work along, because sometimes some people need a little bit of a study buddy or a work buddy to just work along with. I also hope that you do like the new overlay. It was to function with something else that was new that I wanted to do, but it didn't work. So, so we're just going with this. If you are watching on YouTube, this will be like a playlist of stuff. So you can always sit back and relax with the playlist as well of this, just to do that. But yeah, so without any further ado, I'm gonna kind of move the mic out of the way so it's not taking room.
The best overlay is where I get to lay over D's nuts.
Also warning that George might suddenly speak randomly.
Also, Dad says hi.
Hi. Dad had to check out my frustrations that I had with the thing that wasn't working. Anyways, let's get to drawing, right? So the good thing is that this comic is not
Dad is so patient and supportive.
He is. He saw he was half asleep while I was having my frustrations with it. And he was like, "Yep, this is how it is now." Also, I was gonna try and get lo-fi music, but I couldn't figure out how to do audio separation, stuff like that, so I'm gonna
He deserves to be raised up later.
I gotta put on my drawing glove. Honestly, my drawing glove is just literally a fingerless glove. A fingerless and knitted glove, which honestly, it's pretty cold, so it's nice that I have this. I also, on my other hand, have one of my warming gloves on. These are like battery powered warming gloves that I got for my birthday that my mom got me. It's also really cool, but the sad thing is it's really hard to draw with it. Typing and like playing games is kind of fine, but it's not really ideal for drawing.
If you think about it, drawing gloves are just tart condoms.
Make sure to protect your art with your drawing glove. Oh my gosh. Now I can't unsee that. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Hold on a minute. Okay, we're gonna have... This is one... That's what I thought disconnected. Okay, so sometimes... I don't know why this happens. My
We practice safe art here, no unprotected drawing.
No, yeah, exactly. No unprotected drawing. You see my glove? You see my glove on my hand? Very demure, very protected. So anyway, sometimes this happens where my drawing tablet just completely, and I mean like 100% Kim just completely disconnects. So it well, it doesn't disconnect, but my pen does not work because for some reason it disconnects it. So I have to unplug this and plug it back in again, which is really shitty. So does this work now? What the heck?
Can't have any STDs, successfully transmitted drawings.
Okay, now this should work. There we go. I hate when it does that. It'll just suddenly do that. It happens randomly. It's not like caused by anything. It just does it. Oh, I didn't put the thing in here. I also didn't put these in folders. What's wrong with me? Oh. Oh. Did it just crash? People talk about streamer luck. It feels like today is just streamer unluck. I'm not I think it crashed. Hello? Clip? Clip Studio is not responding. Great. That's fantastic. It's stuck like this. Also, I think it disconnected again because my pen isn't working again. Oh my god. Is my pen dead? Is it just dead now? Great. No, I do not check my pen before I stream. But even still, like, I shouldn't have to. I feel like that's... And also, Clip Studio just is not working. I can't click on anything. It's just stuck like this. I might have to close out of Clip Studio and open it back up again. Or well, actually, I can't even do that. I need to open the Task Manager, probably. Don't you love when everything just doesn't work and then you have to try and figure out live what the heck is happening? And then you're like out of luck because apparently just everything just decides not to work. That's what's happening right now. I have to unplug this again and plug it back in. This is the second time that I've done this. Okay, now it's working. That was so weird. Like, wasn't working for some reason. I hate it here. Also, how's background music? I got some new background music. Why are you picking that up? Alright. I know these little stick figures don't make sense, but this is how I'm able to color pick so much faster. So I don't have to go between, because I have, so if I were to show you guys, I'll just pull this out a little bit. I have the color picker, the color here, but then I have a color set, which is basically like palettes. And sometimes it's very hard to go between them because they're all named and labeled, but it's very hard to go between them. So I was like, well, I'll just do this. That is like so it's like a little easy way to just be able to come over here, and then I can just oh, it's doing this. I hate this. And then I can just pick the color, and then now I have the color. There we go. Makes it way easier to do things, but I don't need this right now. You can also just see all the, yes, I do use the 3D models. It helps so much. If you're making a comic and you're using Clip Studio, make custom 3D models for your characters. You can just use the base one, and then you can change the height, proportions, everything. And it helps so much with speeding up the process. Also label everything. Labeling is good. Hey, if you fall asleep while I'm working on stuff, I know I've done something right. But go and sleep, Jose. Please take care of yourself.
Dad wants extra goodnight kisses and to be little spoon.
No. No, I'll no. Oh, I know why this is okay. It's because I separated these. I was wondering why I could see the 3D model on top of the base here. It's because it's from that. So these are outside of the frames here. Which is okay. I can do that. It's just that like Kovan overlays these, so I'm gonna move him up. Sometimes that just happens. You have to think about how you're gonna separate stuff with comics. Actually, I was thinking of if I did start printing these out, if my resolution size was big enough, because I was like, oh no, I've already done several chapters. I'm probably gonna have to go back and redo some. Turns out, don't have to do that because my resolution size is already bigger than is already double the size of what I would want to print it at, which is like a typical comic size, which is by about like typical comic page size is about almost like a 5x7, sometimes 5x5. So it means like, so it's usually pretty small. It's not like huge. And I'm doing that. This resolution size is almost like 10x17. So it's like poster size. So it is definitely a lot bigger than what I would want to print it at. Which is good. It also gives a little bit of bleed as well. I will say with most of how my comic is, like, I try and keep most of everything within like a border frame. Like if Luthador's horn here gets cut off in a bleed, it's okay, because the main thing is that his face is lower down. So, fun things that you just realize with comics and how to make them. I also did, with reading a lot of manga and stuff, it also kind of like helps you to see how you can rearrange things differently. So you also kind of get an idea with like mangas and stuff, like that you can rearrange your comic very uniquely if you want to. So literally me buying mangas actually is a business expense. Can mark it off on taxes. It's a business expense. Technically, if you stream games and you make money from streaming, you can technically write off buying games as a business expense. I can write it off as a research expense because I need it for research purposes, for art, So I'm an independent artist. I need it for research purposes. Is it a little cheaty? Kind of, but they can't say it's like not either. So especially since I sometimes do use games as inspiration sometimes. I mean, technically I am using Monster Hunter as inspiration for some of fighting moves, but you won't see those until we actually start fighting. Actually, surprisingly, a lot of my comic, even though it's a fantasy action adventure, there's not much action to it. At least, not extremely yet. I say, as the literally first chapter is a fight scene. Look. I've learned from that chapter that I am not extremely great at drawing fights. Also, another tool that I greatly use with comic making is the lasso fill. Oh my god, changed my life. Because then I can just fill in this area. And there you go. For more complex things like hands and stuff, I don't use it for that. Or if there's like overlapping stuff, it's kind of hard to do overlapping with. But hands and things, yeah, you go in and kind of draw an outline. But doing this method has definitely sped up my process, where it's like drawing a base and then coloring in that base. Depends on complexity of how much stuff I have to draw. If I have to draw like a lot of things on one page, I usually can only do one page a day. I do take breaks. I'm not drawing the comic 24/7. And whatever we get done today is whatever I get done today. And whatever I don't finish, I will finish tomorrow, or if I want to continue working on it. Basically, a typical day of me working on a comic, or anything really, is I get up, I work, I get up, do my normal stuff, do normal healthcare routine, you know? And then I walk doggy, because that's good for you. A breakfast. Oh my gosh. Breakfast, and then I sit down here and I post out any good morning stuff or anything that's planned for the day. And then I immediately go straight to work. To working on the comic at like about 9-ish, 9:30-ish. Usually by the time I post out my good morning tweet, I'm already working. So that's pretty much about it. And then I completely forgot about this. And then I just work until, I have a lunch break. And I usually take just typical hour, like a normal 9 to 5 job. And then I come back at 1 and I finish up with whatever I wanted to finish. And then at about 4-ish I stop. And I finish. Whatever got done is whatever got done. Because what I used to do was just keep working, and I was working until 9, 10 o'clock at night, which is not really ideal. Because then you're kind of sacrificing your health a little bit while you're trying to work on something like this. And that's not really good work ethic in a way. I'll see what needs fixing after I'm done. Oh my goodness, his hair needs to be more. I know. Sometimes I forget how long Luthador's hair is, okay? Sheesh. You'll notice that sometimes his hair's strands are really long and sometimes it's not. I'm sorry about inconsistencies. I'm just like, hey, at least it is there. I know for the most part it goes to about his chest here. But hey, don't we like men with long hair? Come on. Let me do that. And then I need to turn Luthador pieces off. Forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah, I used to work really late. And then I was kind of sacrificing my health a little bit, which was not very ideal for anything. So, of course, I now don't do that anymore. But the reason that I used to like bust my butt to literally finish a lot of things was because um I just well, one, I literally every chapter I had to finish it within the month, so I never gave myself any like backlog to kind of alleviate some of the stress of trying to finish it. So there was always that. And so right now I'm trying to like make a backlog. Just make a backlog so that then if something happens or something comes up, then at least it's already done. So I don't have to bust my butt to get it done. It's like, what do you need? I mean, I need to bust my butt. It's already done. Technically, what I'm mainly trying to do is get like 1 or 2 chapters ahead. I know like some people, they have like 5-10 chapters ahead, like, you know, but if I can just get like a few ahead, then that's fine. Because, you know, over time, it's like I'll always be like a few more ahead. 2 steps ahead, man. And if I need to, I'll take like another maybe 2-month break where it's not being posted and then add a few more to the backlog, you know? So. Yeah, that's kind of how I just want it to be and want it to be like in a way. Now, we're not always going to be working on the comic with these work-alongs. It's just kind of whatever I need to feel like I need to get done. So, could be working on a lot of different art stuff. So, now, one issue that there is with my comic in particular is not all of these are within their own bounding. What most people do with comics is not what I am doing. what I am basically doing is making it so that this comic is kind of more like an image page than anything. Because normally what you're supposed to do is, here, let me just kind of show you. But before I do that, let me just the funny thing is I could make it do this. I just don't have it right now. So what you're normally supposed to do with a comic, is it this button? Yes. Is you're supposed to do that. Which this doesn't make sense, but basically this is now all gonna be self-contained in here, right? I could do it this way, but one issue arises where now I have to do what all of this is. So you see how many like layers are over here? I have to do all of this for each one of these. So every single Luthador that I make would be in its own separate little box. I would have to do this 3 times. And with how my art style is, this is not efficient. This isn't. It's not efficient at all. I could do is later down the line separate it up like this, because I can use these lines that I already have here as a way to do this. But normally, that's what you're supposed to do. But the other thing is like, traditional comics, you didn't have that. You didn't have like the bounding boxes. So, and the other thing is like, you know, everyone's different. But the reason that you do it that way is so that then you can kind of like, if you don't like the arrangement of how the comic looks, you can like move those boxes around to different areas, and you can shape them differently. And I'm like, I guess that's cool, but it's not really necessary because I already like, I do at least like 3 passes before I get to this. So, well, yeah, about 3. So I have my base sketch that I do in like hand drawing, and then I re-sketch it all here. And then when I start putting like the poses in and maybe some frames, I kind of go, ooh, I actually don't like how that looks, I'll change it. So I usually have several passes before I finalize anything. And actually, speaking about frames, I need to increase these. Jose gave a great idea to make these be different sizes, like thicknesses. So I've been kind of going around and doing that. But I will say this much: if you're making a comic, make a comic the way that you want to make it and not what everyone typically does. But I will say this much: if you want to go into print with it, the way I'm doing it is probably not optimal, because it would be a lot harder for me to rearrange anything if I needed to rearrange anything. The good thing is that I know ways of how to rearrange it in a different way that would work. So it would take more work, but I can rearrange things if I needed to. Actually, one way I do a bleed sometimes is I put a bounding box around here, and I'm like, that bounding box is the bleed. do not make anything go beyond that. Luthador's finger here might get cut off a little bit, but mostly you're focusing on his face. And again, like this might get cut off a little bit, but at least the main interaction is like right here, right? That's why you have to like keep that in mind. So unfortunately his finger might, well, it might not, depends on the bounding. So, so you're up here now. I'm gonna put you there. You also can't really see this because of the border here, but I do have different colors. I color coordinate my stuff just so I know what I'm supposed to be working on. Is there anything in here I kind of want to start fixing? I don't think I'll know if I need to fix anything until I start really coloring it. Oh. I literally was doing right when you came in, Fox. That's what I was doing. Thank you for the posture check and the stretches, and also that would be a check for you too. Ahoy, ahoy to you too, Fox. Make sure to get your stretches in while I'm getting my stretches in. Equality. Sure, if you want to send me it. Well, I'm glad that you guys like to hear my thoughts and your guys' art. I will say this much: I've been like thinking about doing like, let me like a art appreciation stream where it's just like you give me your art and I just appreciate it, because I think like a lot of times on social media and stuff like that is you get a lot of unwanted critiques. And I wouldn't want to like critique. I would just be like, I don't want to critique. I just want to give you, if I do critique, it would be more of like actual constructive criticism, which is basically like, hey, here's a better way to fix it, but not like completely. I've like seen so many people that they just go, here's how I would fix it, instead of like, here's how you can fix it because of your art. And I'm like, constructive criticism is a two-way street, man. Move that up there. That's fine. Good. Oh. You have very much leveled up. Sometimes I've been very stagnant with my art. See so many videos. Your art is bad. This is why it makes me want to cry. I know. Oh my gosh. I wouldn't be surprised if people if people literally take my art and be like, your art's so messy, and I'm like, it's messy on purpose. It's messy on purpose. Shut up. But I've gotten plenty of people saying like my art's pretty unique and nice in its own way, because it's like that semi-realism. So it's not very realistic. It's still very like pulling from realism and anime, because I kind of just mashed it together. You thank University for that. I like your art. Thank you. I mean, I'm making an entire comic that people are apparently still interested in reading, so I guess somebody has to. But yeah, I will say the best way and worst way to level up your skills is make a comic. You learn so quickly. Is it a good way? No. But I have learned to like actually do facial expressions a lot better. I mean, they're not fantastic, but they get across what they need to get across, you know? It's called facial acting. I have always kind of. It's been hard for me to like really make characters that you can kind of read what their facial expression is. And nowadays it's like, oh, that's easy to me. Open mouth, closed mouth, doesn't matter. I can do it. So you'll learn really quickly how you're supposed to do stuff. And even still, like, I'm not completely great at it. Why is it picking up how squeaky this arm is? Alright. Oh, I was gonna do skinny girl. But I hope with these comic work-alongs you can see how much time it really takes to make one singular page. For one person. And this isn't even with like complex backgrounds or anything. Next chapter after this, oh boy. I'm gonna need a lot of references. I might just do some photo bashing, honestly, with it. To help me. Because there's so much that needs to get done with that background. Trying to make a comic once in high school, so much work. Yeah, it's a lot of work. That's why you'll see a lot of the big webcomic artists, like webcomic creators that you see. Also, no redeem for art with fangs. What do you mean? I already have fangs. Sir. I already have them. Actually, IRL, I have that scary art. Good. IRL, I actually do have like natural, really. I'm trying to like remember. I already have like really natural canines, like prominent canines you can see. So it's just referencing that actually. I made it, I put it on my model as like a little bit of a joke, and then I was like, you know what? Why not give them fangs? Why not just give them fangs? They're alien anyways. They're like a fantasy character anyways. It doesn't matter. I can put fangs on them if I want to. Where's this one? Oh, I'm zooming in on the wrong layer. I was like, wait, that's too bright. I don't think I can draw the comic from this small away. I don't know how it just zoomed out like that so extremely. Sometimes it does that. I will say the one great thing about this particular chapter is I get to draw my boy Luthador all the time. Great thing about a comic, you can literally just keep drawing your OCs all the damn time. And look, these guys did start out as that. I sent you the one I was asking about. This one. Oh, that one? That one also does have fangs. It is a little bit different because I also have... So, I kind of have a little bit of an insecurity with how big my front incisors are, which is your two front teeth. I have always had very big incisors. So, it does look like she almost has a little bit of a buck teeth bunny, but it's not really. Because my mouth still like does the same shape as normal teeth. It's just like I have really big front upper incisors, which is my big two front teeth at the top. Oh, I don't have the hug command anymore, but thank you. But yeah, but also this design is old. That 2.0 design is old. The dress, I had to change it because of Twitch's TOS stuff now. But thankfully, because of the change, I was able to actually add more elements to the design that I wanted to add and like felt like I couldn't, and I did add it, so. But the model's done. The model's done. I'm thinking about doing a model reveal, another one, but this one is gonna be probably animated. I'm gonna be doing one probably in January, because, well, January, February, March, April, May, so it'll be like 4 months ahead, because I'm gonna debut in May. It's gonna be May. I'm hyped for that. Yeah. I got a lot of things done. Actually, for these work-alongs, we might do 2.0 things as well if I need to get them done. Like we might do animated emotes, things like that. Because like the head and the upper part of the design is still the same. It's the dress that has changed a little bit. So, yeah. Maybe we could do thumbnailing for the lore video. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't care about showing stuff. I'm doing it all myself anyways, so I don't care about giving you guys little crumbs here and there. But if you do want to see more of this stuff, I'm just gonna plug this. I do have more things that I show on the Patreon. It's not just 18 plus stuff. It's mainly for comic, and also you can kind of see progress work of the VTuber models as well. Twitch is gonna say no shoulders and ankles. Oh my gosh, they go for the ankles, man. Well, if they go for the ankles, I'm at least covered on that. But the shoulders, The weird thing though is apparently they are actually going for people's artwork slideshows. So it looks like any display of any sort they will get you. So thankfully I already changed my little art scrolling thing up here. Because I had Fane on there, and Fane doesn't have her hips covered, so I had to remove her, unfortunately. Which is super saddening, because I love Fane. Not sure if I can pass, even though I have paws and not human. Yeah, a lot of people were wondering, like, what if people have, like, non-human stuff? I think, it actually doesn't matter, I believe. I don't know. I still have to look into it, because the thing is, like, you know, what do you do with, like, anthropomorphize animals and stuff? Like, technically, if they try and tell me to cover my ankles, like, my 2.0 ankles are literally, like, monster feet, so I'm like, because they're based off of Wyrarian's feet from Monster Hunter, so, like, bro. It's very... Yeah, I think, like, you know, it's an issue of, because I've talked about this a little bit beforehand here and there, where it's more of an issue of, it's interesting that they haven't given us like a full like, here are the rules, and like an actual chart of any sort. I think that speaks, like, much more volumes than anything. Because if you don't have something that you are following, so, like, if they don't have, like, clear, direct, this is what is not allowed, this is what is allowed, then, one, how are we as content creators supposed to know, and how is you as moderators are supposed to know? So that's my only, like, qualm about it. Is, like, if we don't know, how are we supposed to follow it? And if you don't know, how are you supposed to follow it? like follow in the way of like um like this, and then I did this for the tone. Was it that? Okay, I need to check a previous page because I forgot. I need to make a little thing on these little chart thingies for the mouth because I am forgetting what colors I used. It's hard when it's black and white like this, man. Also, there you go. You can see what the finished product is going to look like at the end. It's very different from how the comic is currently working. But honestly, I kind of am slightly wanting to now make it black and white like this, but then I'm like, no, no, you can't do that. There's a reason that it's like this. It'll be explained. They're like, they are actually seeing stuff like this. So, but it is kind of explained. Let me just like go into the mouth here. This looks really weird, but don't worry about it. Let me see what color it is. Okay, it is that color. And what did I use for the tongue? Do I have it? Oh. I'll just use a lighter. I'll just use a lighter color. Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta turn back on this. Look, I don't know what I'm doing. So it is this, and then this color. Gonna make this. Thank you. Thank you for the head pat. You know, one thing I kind of want to work on, maybe for one of these work-alongs, I kind of want to make a George, George into a VTube, studio, or not a VTube, but into a VTuber. So George won't be a PNG. He'll blink and everything. And then he'll speak. It depends on kind of how I want to do it, because I want to test it with so Mix It Up Bot can go into VTube, but I don't think it can do the voice stuff. I think it can just connect to VTS Pog, but I think BQ Bot can connect to VTube Studio and make it talk. So we're gonna have to check that out. That's like a future thing, but I kind of want to, because if I make a base for George and already do George with the 1.0, then when George does 2.0, then it'll be easy because I just have to put a few things on him. Oh yeah. No, I've been going like a lot more of like the cozier route, honestly. I think I'm done trying to be the crazy chaotic gremlin. I'm like I can't match that. I I lose so much energy after stream that I'm just like so tired. But nowadays, like, I haven't been so tired after stream. And I think I just want to go cozier out. I don't think I'm going to be, like, not 18 plus, of course, but, like, the 18 plusness is more of, like, an 18 plus cozy community, you know? Let me check the time. Okay. But I do hope to do more of these in future and stuff. And that's what like Thursday is gonna be. It's just an entire day of work along with me while I work on stuff and you do stuff and it's really nice. Thank you. I think like you know I've noticed like you know that I actually like more of the cozier vibes than the extreme hyperactiveness and all of that. I mean, you can still make 18 plus jokes around here. Like we can still joke about funny stuff, but I'm gonna be honest. I might ask Jose to turn down some of the stuff because honestly, this early in the morning, I'm like I can't react to that. There is no reaction. Yeah. I also just kind of wanted to try like different time slots and stuff for things. And so I was like, you know what? Why not just like start doing this? I would say that the only time I get really crazy if I play Monster Hunter because I'll just scream at the monsters like get your ass back here. I'm supposed to fight you. You're the monster. You're supposed to scare me. We'll try it. Why did the fish blush? Was it because it was a salmon? And saw the ocean's. Oh my gosh. Saw the ocean's bottom. That's. Yeah, that's a good, that's a good joke. Sorry if my voice sounds like really monotone. I've just kind of like been slowly working on like unmasking as well, and honestly, my voice is pretty monotone. Unless I'm like, I'll I try to change up the tone here and there, but my 18 plus joke. Oh, thank you for your contribution. Yeah. I think it's soothing. Really? Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that my voice is soothing before. Well, I guess there's a first for everything. Then again, Jose has said, like, when I'm talking normally about stuff, like, that my voice is really calming, so I guess I guess by stopping my chaoticness and then I mean, I can still be chaotic even in a soothing voice. I can still say stuff. At least I'm better than both of these. Both of these nuts. I don't know where I was going with that joke. Look, it's like not even noon yet. Okay. I even got like a full night's rest sleep. Oh my gosh. Full like rest sleep yesterday and okay, how do you guys measure sleep? Do you say like, oh yeah, I got good sleep last night, even though that technically you also slept this morning, so therefore, do you sleep like the night before and also in the morning? Therefore, how do you measure it by saying, did you sleep this morning, or do you say that you slept last night and then it transferred over into this morning? Deep shower thoughts here. It's the morning thoughts. They're coming in. It's the morning. You get my morning thoughts. Is this in the... Oh. I almost put that in the wrong layer. I will say one great thing about the style of how this comic is, or at least this chapter's style, is it has been so much faster to work on because it's a lot simpler, but also I've just had this nice little chart here that has been so helpful too. And I think that's something I'm probably going to do in future to help me. Oh my goodness. Trying to draw a line. The true struggles here, boys. I will say, in making this comic process, I figured out more shortcuts than I ever have, and also the ability to make more shortcuts. So, So I literally made a shortcut to flip the canvas, not only this way, but the other way too. So if I push Shift Z, it shifts it. If I do Shift X, it does it like that. And then apparently, I didn't know this, Shift plus spacebar, this is default. This is default settings for Clip Studio. It gives you can turn the canvas, you can rotate the canvas. Shift and spacebar. I didn't know that. I just accidentally randomly pressed it when I was trying to move. So I was trying to move, and then I accidentally pressed Shift and I twisted it. I was like, wait a minute. I can do that? And so I did it again. I was like, oh. Also, if you just hold down Alt, I believe with any brush that you use. So let me do like, I also have Z for zooming in and out. So that's why I'm able to kind of move and zoom in and out. But I think if I press Alt, yeah, Alt zooms. Alt is also like a zooming, but it's just the other version. But if I'm with a brush, just hit Alt and then I can pick up the color. I also just have made a lot of my own stuff as well. Because again, there's a lot of like default ones, like B for brush, but then if I cycle through it, it goes through all of my different like brush stuff. Which yeah, is kind of a butt, but I mean, at least I can like cycle through all the different ones. Some of the stuff I've also changed, like instead of E for eraser, it's F. D is pencil. S is also like zooming in and out. A is for lasso fill or just shape button. And then Q is like for quick selection. So sometimes I mix the Q and the A up because I actually had it swapped beforehand, so I still sometimes mix it up. But even still, like, I can do a selection like that and fill it the same way I would do the lasso fill. So this tool is amazing for comic work because you can just fill an area. I actually want, oh yeah, the other thing is on my pen, I can push down and pick up the color as well. I forget about that sometimes. I don't remember what this one does. Oh. Maybe I should make that its own button too. I have 2 buttons on my drawing. Maybe I should make this eraser. I think it is eraser, it just like isn't doing it. Ew. I think I might need to turn on this really quickly. There's a reason. Also, I will say, trying to change like shortcuts and stuff on Clip Studio is like a nightmare. I would say like after you do it for a while, it's fine, but how you like have to do it is you have to go into like file settings, and there's literally a thing called like shortcut settings, but the thing that's the butt about it is like how it kind of is set up. And you have to like kind of, so if you want auto selections, menu commands, pop-up palettes, options, tools, and then you kind of go in here and just make sure that everything is set to what you want. It will pop up and say, hey, this is also being used for something else. Are you sure that you want this to be this? And I'm like, yes. So sometimes when you're doing stuff, it might be also connected to something else. So like I have the lasso fill, but it's also connected to the object, so I can select the layer. Object tool also moves stuff, but I literally use it for layer selection. Not too long ago. Yeah, I figured that out too. That's in... So if you go to brush settings, you can literally say, you can go into brush settings, and I believe it's under... No. Oh, if you want to figure out how to make it so it doesn't cross any lines, like, the erase upon, like, erase outside line, you literally go to anti-flow and say, do not cross lines of reference layer. You just click that, done. It will not cross any line that, if you have like line art, I don't use line art, so that's why I don't have it. But if you do line art, you just go into your brush tool and you click that. If you don't have a reference layer, it will not do it. Yeah, and you can apply it to anything. You can apply it to any brush, anything that you want. You just say, do not cross the lines of reference layer. That can also be great for filling in colors. Now, you have to be careful because let's say if the center of the circle, if your center circle point of your pen goes outside of the line, it will draw outside of it. So you just have to make sure you're drawing, a good distance away from where that reference line is. And then again, same with the eraser. So that's how you do that. But I believe in order to snap it, it's like snap something. I forget like where it was for the symmetry one. It says like snap something. Oh, hello, puppers. But there, I taught you something else, Fox. That should help you. Oh, here we go. It's on correction. So if there's like a little in tool properties. Oh, you can't see it, but in tool properties, there's like two little buttons down at the bottom. One is a reset, and one is a wrench. You click on the wrench tool and it will pull up subtool detail. You can't see it, but I'm holding it. And if you go down, it'll give you like brush size, ink, color jitter, go all the way down to the bottom for watercolor edge, erase, and then you'll see correction. Click correction. It's going to be right after taper. It will say enable snapping. Click that for any tool that you want to be able to mirror to both sides, and it will do it. And it will completely mirror all the time. And you can put that for erasers, you can put that for soft erase, anything with erasing, anything with brushes, anything. Just click that little thing and it will enable it. I don't know why it only happens for some brushes that it comes with default like this, and other brushes it doesn't. So if you're importing brushes and you want it to make sure that it does that, just make sure that enable snapping is checked. And that will make sure that it does that. Maybe I should like do like a tutorial of like Clip Studio stuff. Things that I've figured out. So it's like a whole tutorial about like how to like manage and go through Clip Studio. I know that there's plenty of people that have done it, but I think like there's still stuff that hasn't been shown before. Like for example, like the enable snapping. One brush that I do recommend for people to get is, it's called Symmetry Move, and it basically what it is a little pack of Symmetry Move Vector, Symmetry Move like Square, Move Square like Angle, or Move Square, or like Move Circle. That just means like it's different, like so either do it as a square or it will do it as a circle bounding box, and it will move it on the symmetry line. Now the one issue is it only moves per layer. It's not really like the Liquify tool. It's a little bit like Liquify, because you can use Liquify to do the same thing that this does, but this does it like a little bit better. But it can only do it per layer, so it doesn't do it in like a group folder like Liquify does, because you can like click on a folder and use the Liquify tool and it will move like, so let me just like click on this layer, it'll move everything within the layer. This brush does not do that. It only does it by the actual layer, not in a group or a folder. So I usually use it for sketching if I'm like sketching out something and I want to move some stuff over. I never really use it for anything else. But yeah, there's plenty of great brushes and things that you can find on Clip Studio Asset, like in their little store area, so you can always find pretty much like something good in there for you to be able to use whenever you need it. So but blessings, you're welcome. Yeah, if anyone ever has any questions about how to use Clip Studio, literally, instead of going and searching up on Google and stuff, literally ask artists that use Clip Studio, because we can probably tell you way more than just looking a Google search up. The other thing is too is like, you know, each person is different and unique unto themselves about like what they use. So like if anyone asks me like what brushes I use 2 brushes. One of them is imported. I literally use the default hard brush. I use and then I use Devonation Paint, which is literally just like a free painter texture brush, because I really liked how it looked and I played around with it a lot and I really liked it. There's plenty of other brushes that I use in order to do effects stuff and things, but those are the 2 brushes that I use. The default hard brush is literally just a block in color. The paint is all for rendering and hair texturing. And then like that's what this is right here. This is the paint. It gives like really nice textured flyaways. But I also use it for all of the shading. So blocking in all the shading, because it gives me nice layers, so I can layer it. And then the blending is called a thick blender. that I also downloaded. There's a regular blend, but the thick blender looks really good with my how I lay down stuff. I will say though, it does work in symmetry, but it doesn't work great. Like for some reason, the symmetry on the other side is always like 100% instead of like the amount of pressure that I give it. So it kind of is a little weird with symmetry. It's not that bad, but it's fine. It gives like, so it's not perfect on each side, which I think is good. You'll see in my VTuber model how that kind of looks because it doesn't look one-to-one on each side. But sometimes that actually makes it look really nice. Been using a mix of default, airbrush, and pen. Yeah, some people use different stuff. I would say for my cute chibi art, I use the default pen all the time. Default chibi art is just pen and simple soft brush, and that's it. That's all I use for my chibi art. It also works for emotes too, so. So depending on the style, I have different, 2 different sets. But there is gonna be ads that play, so I'm gonna stop talking about stuff in Distorg. Because I need to finish blocking in the colors. So I did light, dark here. Alright, so the clothes are done. Let's do the hair. Well, I just figured out something new. Apparently the little line at the bottom here, you can grab it and move it around. Wow, that would have been so much more helpful in a lot of other situations. Oh, I hate it here. I think I knew that, I just forgot that it existed. A lot of stuff I just forget it exists. I hope everyone enjoyed those ads. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted. Oh, I figured out something else. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Apparently, if you select something, you can move this toolbar. I didn't realize you could do that, or I probably forgot that I could. No more dealing with that stuff in my way anymore. Because sometimes it just gets in my way. But here you can see me kind of using the paintbrush to do all these little flyaways. Oh, another tool that I would greatly recommend that you use if you do like just putting down solid colors. I recommend the lasso fill tool, which is like right around here-ish. And it comes with the default Clip Studio. It is so helpful. Especially considering how my art style is, where it's like I block in like solid colors like this. I don't have line art or anything, so it's really just helpful to really make sure that everything is colored in and blocked. Because I hate when there's always like one pixel. Oh. Almost forgot that bottom hair there. I think just like after a while of making the comic, you kind of just figure out your own way. Even just making a bunch of art. Hi, Pug. Welcome in. So we're gonna actually like finish up on the flat colors here, and then I gotta go. So the good thing is that now all I have to do is render this, and later today, and would be one more page done, which is one more page added to the chapter. I actually did post this out on like Twitter a little bit, or not Twitter, but on Blue Sky. I was like, you know, when you're working on something, just saying like, do it one at a time, you know, one little bit at a time, and over time, you'll be adding to it. You know, there's gonna be more there, and that's kind of how I'm taking it now. It's just like kind of bit by bit. Because again, I used to overwork myself with working on it because I didn't work. Thanks for the stream, right? You're welcome. I was planning on like making it a lot longer, because it would be like more of an entire day situation. But I have kind of other things to do, and the other thing is I just kind of want to see how this goes for a while. But I did want to add like another stream day to this, and so I was like, oh, why don't we do like work along stuff, and I just sit here and we do work. And now all I have to do is finish up the red here, and then we're done. And there we go. Did you enjoy my time working on art with you? Yes. You know, it's I hate that a lot of people like to say like, oh, this is just low effort content. And I'm like, no. Sometimes people enjoy this kind of content where they just need like a little work buddy, you know? And that's kind of what I want these kinds of streams to be. It's just kind of work buddy. It also just makes me feel like I have a work buddy too, even if nobody's in here. It's like, it gets me more focused for some reason. I'm just able to focus a lot better. But yeah, we're done at least with the flat colors. Yeah, it does take a long time to really get everything done. But yeah. Low effort, my curly tail. You worked hard to develop these skills. True. That is true. I'm gonna work hard at each and every day to try and get the stuff done that I need to get done. So, I think for people definitely on Twitch, I will. Let's see if there's anybody that we can kind of raid. If not, we'll just end. There's a few people doing art actually, because I'm streaming so early that we can actually raid people that I am not normally able to raid because yeah. Oh, you know what? I haven't raided this person in a while and I really like their art, and they're just chatting right now, but they're gonna be doing some art. Oh, they're not in just chatting. I think they forgot to change it. They are doing some Iron Mouse fan art, which actually, I'm gonna be honest, out of all the Iron Mouse outfits that I've seen, I think this one that she has, or that the person is drawing, is my favorite. So let me just, it's hard to, because everything is around here, but let me just do that, and then get the raid message. Oh, I keep thinking I need to do a slash for that, and I don't know why. Oh my goodness, please. There we go. Something for 30. There you go. Hooray. Let me make sure I grab the raid message too. Oh no. Ads literally just started. But I do want to thank you all for joining me on this little work together. We're not always going to work on the comic. It's just today I wanted to. Next week we might, work on something else. And each day is gonna be different, and you might be like, oh, but what about your art streams? I would say art streams are probably the thing is, with work along streams we can work on anything. So I could do like live 2D stuff, I could do like writing out stuff, I could do like whatever I kind of want to do, so it's kind of like a whatever. I could be working on a video, working on editing clips, so the work along is just kind of whatever. But anyways, I'm sorry, we are gonna raid on a Be Right Back. I should have checked, but it's okay. They're cool. When they get back, you'll see some cool Iron Mouse stuff. So without any further ado, as I always say, thank you all so much for watching and being here. I will see you tomorrow for some more art. Good. As I always say, may the winds guide you. Until next time. Good. Bye, everyone.